All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Daytona International. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series heads to Daytona to kick off the 2020 summer season. It's race number one of a great season in store for you. 70 laps here tonight, some drafting action in the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series. Should be a great one. Of course, it is live right here on TurnLeftTV. Whoa! All right. Hey, I didn't expect that to play, but very interesting. Well, that was a strange deal, but hey, I think we're back. Thanks so much. Sorry about that. A little technical difficulties, obviously. So we'll get things rolling here. Sorry, these guys are in the qualification session right now. All right. Hey, thanks so much for coming in. This is TurnLeftTV, and very interesting little deal that went on there. So, hey, race number one of the season. 70 laps here at Daytona tonight. Very excited about this. Should be a great race. Again, thanks so much for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. I had a little bit of a technical issue with something playing that shouldn't have been playing. But, well, I think we got that worked out now, I believe. That was very interesting. Kind of scared me, to be honest with you. So I think we're up and running again. And again, thanks so much for coming in to TurnLeftTV. We'll boot back up here, I think, with the music.
A lot of soul.
Yeah, so again, hey, thanks for coming in. That makes it a little bit more exciting, right? When we get a little bit of music going on. So, wow, that was a crazy little set of events. But thanks so much for coming in. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, and woo, I don't know what was going on there. Somebody's out to get me. So I'm excited for tonight. This is race number 1 of a great season coming up. Daytona, 70 laps here tonight. We'll see what the qualification results are. Sean Jacobs will start on the pole here tonight, so congratulations to him. Tim Lansbury will qualify P2. Lawrence Stoppler P3, Preston Hassel P4, Todd Robillard P5, Jair Oliveira P6, Regis Brights starts in P7, Colin Madiak P8, P9 Richard Brooks, Paul Brown starts in 10th, William Dunbar 11th, Ed Palumbo starts in the 12th position. Dan Chu starts 13th. Paulo Chachalowski starts in 14th. Givaldo Spindola starts in 15th tonight. Take a look at the session results. I think we got that graphic's not coming up right now. It's all right. We'll probably get that after the results afterwards. See if we can get some times here. So Sean Jacobs, 48.872. So again, this is the Buschwackers Series, race number 1. Again, sorry for the little mess up there at the beginning. We've had some bugs going in. Mainly on my end, but Daytona tonight should be a great one.
A lot.
The race schedule here in the High Octane Racing League Buschwacker Series. Daytona tonight. Palm Springs coming up next week. Phoenix, 120 laps there on July the 3rd. Pocono Raceway coming up on July the 10th. July the 17th, Kansas, a cookie cutter there headed your way. Martinsville Speedway on July the 24th. Watkins Glen, 36 laps there, a little road course action on July the 31st. Chicagoland Speedway coming up on August the 7th. Bristol, some short track action on August the 14th. And then Texas on August the 21st. Coming up on Monday, baby. We'll start it all over again. IndyCar, Brazil, NASCAR, Total be back in action with those DTM cars. 2020 season. Be broadcasting a 45-minute race for those guys from Hockenheim. Race number 1 of that 2020 season. You do not want to miss it. Starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Brasilia. Very, very excited about that, man. Take a look at the track here at Daytona. Very fun track. 2.5 mile. Who doesn't know Daytona International Speedway, right? 2.5 mile oval located in Daytona, Florida. And then, not to mention, 31 degrees of banking in the turns, banking in the tri-oval at 18 degrees. Definitely a lot of drafting going on here tonight. Going to have a partner to get on and off pit lane and get back in that draft. You're going to need some help here tonight if you're going to win this race. Coming up on Tuesday, June the 23rd, we'll be back in action with Sim Racing Mania at Pocono, the Tricky Triangle, and the IndyCars. That'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Don't want to miss it. 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 9 p.m. over in across the pond there in Great Britain. Should be a great one. Pocono is going to be a good one. Back to, I don't really want to call this an oval, but this is the oval portion of their season. They've got 4 ovals, 4 road courses, and Pocono coming up next. Hey, I want to say thank you so much for coming out to the YouTube channel, checking out TurnLeftTV. Peace to everybody. Hope everybody's behaving themselves and staying out of trouble. And again, thank you for coming in. Greatly appreciate you guys coming here to watch the races, and really appreciate everybody showing up tonight here to race as well. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, it's right there. Just give it a little love tap. And if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV, you can make a donation up in the link in the banner. And make a donation straight through PayPal. Please hit that thumbs up button. Let me know how we're doing. And as always, thanks so much for coming in. Again, here's the session results for the qualification. Sean Jacobs, 48.872, the pole sitter. Tim Lansbury just behind there, 48.899. Lauren Stoppelworth is third. Preston Hassel qualifies in the 4th position. Todd Robillard is 5th. See Jair Oliveira, Regis Brights, Colin Madiak, Richard Brooks, and Paul Brown rounding out the top 10. Take a look at that place. 10th, 11th place is William Dunbar. Ed Palumbo 12th. Dan Chu 13th. Paulo Chachalowski, PT, is in 14th. And then Givaldo Spindola qualifying in the 15th position. Hopefully we got chat working there. Look at these guys showing up here, man. We got the Brazilian contingent coming up here tonight. Where's Art Vieira at? He should be out here on the track right now. Flavio in here. Jair getting ready to race. Paulo also getting ready to race. So C. Mills says Sean's bringing it home tonight. All right. Well, guess we know who's picking Sean Jacobs to win this race. Thanks so much for coming in. We'll see if the side-by-side is working. I don't know what happened with that music there going on. That freaked me out a little bit. Side-by-side view. Let's make sure that's working. It looks like it is. We got to get a few things queued up here, I think. But everything looks pretty good there, I think. Don't forget that you can click on the link down in the description of this race and follow that to the Fanatec website or Fanatec website. If you're interested in purchasing a wheel or pedals or any race equipment, give those guys a look. And then if you decide on them, please follow my link. It would help me out here at TurnLeftTV. Also, if you want to friend me on Discord, you can friend me down there using one of those channels. What in the world? Just for playing this song again. Boy, it's like I think it's wanting to play that song really, really badly. Wow. I have no idea what's going on there, but these guys are going to restart warm-up here, so hitting the bricks running. Think I have it figured out. We'll see. Oh boy. All right, I think we got it figured out now. Hey, I figured out what the problem was. I'm an idiot. Hey, there you go. Think we got her rolling now. Man, it's almost like it's my first day broadcasting. How about that? Woo! All right, 10-minute warm-up session, and hopefully we have no more problems. Think we got it figured out, boys and girls. You know, I'll tell you what, man, once you have a Windows update, you might as well just throw away your machine. You know what I'm saying? Well, I tell you what, you need to get your picks in now. Who's going to win this race? I think somebody's on the Sean Jacobs train already. Again, taking a look a little bit at the chat session. Joe Haynes in here as well. Racing fellows, come on in and join the fun, Joe. Take a look at Dan Chu. That looks like he's on pit lane right now. About 4 minutes left here in the warm-up session. 15 drivers joining us tonight. And thank you so much for coming out and joining here on TurnLeftTV, but also supporting High Octane Racing League's Bushwhacker Series. Very, very fun time here. We've been putting a lot of work into this and getting this thing up and running, and we had one down week and then back at it. So thanks so much for coming in, and I greatly appreciate your support. Tonight we got 70 laps here at Daytona International, race number 1 of the 2020 summer season. Every Friday night, man, at that 9 o'clock range. Eastern Standard Time. You want to tune in and watch the live streams. Hopefully they're better than what I started off with tonight. Daytona tonight. Race 1 of 10, 70 laps here. Started out, so thank you for coming in. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, the broadcaster, the commentator, the guy you want to beat, the guy who's messing everything up right now. So again, thanks for supporting TurnLeftTV, but also supporting the High Octane Racing League. I've been watching these races. Ed Palumbo thanking all the drivers, thanking TurnLeftTV. Good luck to Ed Palumbo here tonight. About a minute left here before we get things rolling, boys and girls. Aldo Spindola top time there, 46.306 here in the warm-up session. I want to say boa noite to all my Brazilian friends that I've got a lot of them out here in the race tonight. A lot of folks, one of the Brazilian folks there coming in and chatting too as well in the chat session, so always appreciate that. All right, boys and girls, it is that time. Time to get it on, boys and girls, here at Daytona. Ready for some high-speed action. Super Speedway style. Come to the right place here at Daytona tonight.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, that was funny.
All right, boys and girls, it is that time. Little Daytona action. Again, thanks so much for coming in, and we got a great one in store for you tonight. So getting these guys joining the grid. Starting order for tonight. Sean Jacobs starting on the pole there in that 9 car. Tim Lansbury starts in the 2nd position. In 3rd is the 41 of Lauren Stoppaward. Starting in the 4th position is the 27 of Preston Hassel. In 5th is the 78 of Todd Robillard. Starting in the 6th position is Jair Oliveira in the 21 car. 18 of Raji Sprite starts in the 7th position. Colin Madiak in the 13 starts in the 8th position. In 9th is Richard Brooks in the 69 car. Paul Brown starts in 10th position, is 77. William Dunbar in the 88 is 11th. 12th is Ed Palumbo in the 54. Dan Chu in the 14 car starts in the 13th position. Paulo Chachalowski in the 22 car starts in 14th. And Givaldo Spindola starts in the 15th position in that 60 car. All right, 70 laps here. Time to pull those belts tight, get ready to rock and roll. I'm excited for this series to kick off. Been waiting for a long time to get this thing going, and here we are. Race day. Sean Jacobs down on the inside line. He's always fast here at Daytona. 16, Tim Lansbury up on the high line, starting in the second position. 41, Lauren Stopworth in third. 27 of Preston Hassel, shown in the fourth position. All right, pace car is in. Here we go.
Green flag, go, go, go.
Boogity, 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 boogity.
All right, kicking off race number 1 of the 2020 summer season, the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series. 15 drivers at it. Sean Jacobs down on the inside line. I think what you're going to see is just that stay in line, find somebody to work with right now. On board here with Preston Hassel on that outside line. He has given the that Ford GT just ahead of him a little bit of a shove. That is Tim Lansbury up on the high line there. Does not look like that high line's going to go here so far. Preston Hassel there running in that 9th position. He's up on that high line, and I'll tell you what, man, my goal would be to get down on that bottom side as quickly as possible. There's Lauren Stopworth in that 41 car, shown in the second position. 78, Todd Robillard in third. Sean Jacobs, our leader. Down the backstretch. Turn 3 there, get the little 3-car breakaway. Rogers Bright's shown in the 4th position in that 18 car. On board here with him as he is starting to close in on that front 3. So as long as you don't lose the draft, you're okay there to drop back just a little bit. 21 of Jair Oliveira just behind him. Richard Brooks, look at him, he's shown in the 6th position. Colin Badiak in that 13 car, shown in 7th. He has got a run there. He's going to go to the outside line. Not going to work for him right now. Will Dunbar in that Microsoft-sponsored number 88 car. Shown in the, now looks like Colin Badiak's going to the outside line here to see if he can't get something rolling on the outside, and has no help, and he's going to end up losing a position, I think, as Will Dunbar squeezes in and takes that spot. Out of the back of Will Dunbar's machine at Paul Brown in the 77 car, following him through. So that outside line just does not look like it is going anywhere right now, as Colin Badiak here continuing to lose position. See 27, Preston Hassel diving down below that 14 car, or down behind that 14 car of Dan Chu. Jair Oliveira going to the outside line here, trying his luck. 69 for Richard Brooks down on the bottom side there. Will Dunbar is going to fill that spot and take that position. So the 21 of Jair Oliveira now. Whoa, no, he's into the wall there. He makes a little contact with the wall. Like JJ smacked the wall coming off of turn 4. Guys are going to get by there, so that number 21 Blue Gate sponsored Camaro has made some contact with the wall. So Not sure what happened to Jair Oliveira, but he fell back. We'll take a look at, this is Richard Brooks here. Get this synced up. Take a look at Jair Oliveira in the 21 car. He's up on that outside line, and it just looks like he ends up getting into the wall. There he is, and he smacks the wall coming off the turn 4 before entering the tri-oval, and then keeps things straight, but nonetheless, he had some trouble. You watch this, he just comes off and smacks the wall right there. And a little bit of trouble there for him. Dan Chu looking out of the front of his machine at that 21, smacking the wall, and then, man, a second time, and he falling back. It's a tough break there for JJ. It's, not too bad, though. He's got a little bit of room to work with there with 13, 16, 22. Back up here at our race leader, the 9, Sean Jacobs in that Liberty-sponsored machine. Liberty University, 41. Lauren Stopworth shown in second. Todd Robillard in the 3rd position. Caution free so far. That's good, huh? We like that. 7 laps in, caution free. I'm not trying to jinx it or anything. I'm just saying. Hopefully the sound's okay. Had a few issues there earlier on, but thanks so much. It looks like 11 people joined us in here watching this race. Joining us, starting lap 8 now. Sean Jacobs is the race leader. Lauren Stopworth 2nd. Todd Robillard is 3rd. Rajesh Bright shown in the 4th position. Richard Brooks is 5th. William Dunbar shown in the 6th position. Paul Brown is 7th. Ed Palumbo shown in the 8th position. That 54 car. This is a guy right here. You know, he just hangs out, man. I'll tell you, he just kind of hangs there. Is patient. And then at the end, it always seems to be have that car up front, ready to rock and roll when the time is right. Take a look at Dan Chu here in the 14 car. Have a little battle there with Preston Hassel. Those guys go way back in the old HORL days, so rekindling that little bit of a rivalry there made from back in the day. Dan Chu, Preston Hassel. Chu in the 14, Preston Hassel in that 27 car. Take a look at Givaldo Spindola here in the 12th position. Now he leads up that pack of 4. You got Jair Oliveira, Colin Madiak, and Paulo Chachalowski. Take a look at Paulo in that 22 car. So that group of 4, they definitely want to see some of those guys break up a little bit, but maybe even see a caution flag. Take a look at Rajesh Bright here running in the 4th position. Talked to him a little bit earlier today. He was excited about coming in here and running some laps, so good to see him out here in that number 18 Toyota Camry. Getting nose to tail right now. But he's sort of behaving himself and waiting for that first pit stop to roll around. Take a look at our side-by-side view here. That back group of 4, and then our front pack. So our front pack there, led by Sean Jacobs, Lauren Stopworth 2nd, Todd Robillard 3rd. Regis Bright's P4, Richard Brooks in P5. A little side-by-side action there with those guys. 21 of Jair Oliveira, Colin Madiak there battling for position. That is for the 13th spot. 21 car might have a little bit of damage he's dealing with. So Romulo Silvieta join us in the chat session too. Good to see Romulo in there. It was good to see him. Trying to get you out on the track, Romulo. Buenas noches, my friend. Take a look at Lord Stopworth, man. He's been pretty quiet here. You know that means business for him, and he's in that Hunt Brothers Pizza number 41 car. Pretty solid here tonight. So, you know, he doesn't have a lot to say normally anyway, but tonight he was laser focused. He came in 78, Todd Robillard, running in the third position. Everybody nose to tail here right now, being nice to one another. I don't know why he doesn't have his paint scheme in here. I painted him a car. Take a look at Richard Brooks here in his 69 car. Richard Brooks racing all the way from across the pond in England, Great Britain. 69, Richard Brooks having a good night here, doing some oval racing in the stock cars, running in the 5th position right now. Pretty solid. Will Dunbar here, a little bit of bad news for him. He has dropped off the pace. So he's lost that lead draft. That is going to spell bad news for him until these guys get caught up to him. So he's running in the 11th position right now. Man, what a great looking paint scheme that is, huh? That is awesome. That thing just pops. Really not sure what happened to Will Dunbar. We're going out here. He gets out of line. Gets out of line right there as Paul Brown goes by. Let me get back to that back here. Sometimes I got to get it. There we go. Yeah, those guys go by. I'm not sure what happened to Will, but dropping back here, and we thought he would just tucked in, but I think he just missed it. And now those guys are far enough away where he has lost the draft, and that is bad news for Will Dunbar. Sean Jacobs continuing to lead the field as a 41 in second. Todd Robillard in third position. Richard Brooks, I'm sorry, Richard Brooks in the fourth position. Paul Brown in fifth. Take a look at Tim Lansbury here running in the 7th position at that 16 car. Dan Chu running just behind him. Again, I think when you're out here and drafting at Daytona or Talladega, pretty much the same strategy there is find a partner, find somebody to work with, stay in line, stay in the draft. Definitely want to find somebody to pit with. You're going to need some friends on pit lane. We got a yellow flag here. Yellow flag. There's a 22 car coming across the track. Looks like the 60 and the 22 involved. Givaldo Spindola and Paulo Chachalowski involved there, bringing out our first caution flag. So Sean Jacobs is the race leader as we have our first caution. Let's see what happened here. We're running side by side right there, and it looks like the 60 gets down into the 22, and then the 22 down onto the apron, coming back up and gets into that 60 car. So it looks like some contact there with the 60. See that 60 car? He's up on the outside line. That is Givaldo Spindola. Paul Chachalowski down on the inside line in that 22 car. It looks like that 22 might have come up a little bit too, so maybe just a little bit of a racing deal there, but definitely got together. 22 and the 60 making contact. Hard to say there, man. Looks like the they both Oh, man, I think that 60 might have dropped down to the 22 the more I looked at that. But, man, that's tight racing. That is the danger of being up on the outside line or getting caught up on the outside. As now they this is on board as, yeah, it just got tight. Maybe he didn't realize the 22 was coming there. But contact between the 22 and the 60. Sean Jacobs and 41 of Lauren Stopperworth, 78 of Todd Robillard, and Richard Brooks shown in the 4th position. Paul Brown in the 77 shown in 5th. Will Dunbar coming around here under caution. Not sure what happened to him. Maybe, oh, it looks like his screen froze up or something, but he got into the 22 car, it looked like. So it looked like the 88 had maybe lost connection briefly. Now back out on track, but it looks like he got into Paulo Chachalowski. All right, looks like pits are open here. So these guys coming down pit lane for their first round of pit stops. We got a few guys that are coming down, but some guys are staying out here, so interesting strategy there. And I would bet you that the 22 and the 60 are going to get some stuff done to their cars, I would imagine. Get some stuff fixed on those cars. Richard Brooks is the race leader. Side-by-side view here. Jair Oliveira on pit lane getting some service. He probably had some damage to get repaired, so there's a yellow flag. Hey, coming up on Monday, we'll be at Hockenheim with the IndyCar Brazil NASCAR Total guys. Excited about this. Race number 1 of a 6-race season, the DTM mod, the DTM 2020 season with these guys. And I'm very excited to be back in business with the Monday night action at IndyCar Brazil NASCAR Total. I see Sullivan and the crew. So that's coming up on Monday. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. On Tuesday, we'll be back in action with Sim Racing Mania and some Indy cars. We got all kinds of stuff, man. We got stock cars, we got DTM, we got Indy cars. Who knows what's coming out, coming at you next at TurnLeftTV. So great action coming up on Tuesday with Sim Racing Mania at Pocono Raceway. 80 laps starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 9 p.m. Great Britain time. Excited. Pocono, a little tricky triangle action in the Indy cars. Thank you so much for coming in and checking out TurnLeftTV. Always appreciate folks coming in, and I want to say hello to everybody, and hopefully everybody's being safe and being good, being kind to one another, and enjoying family, and finding a good way to keep yourself happy in a very challenging time. But again, thanks so much for coming in, and if you'd like to, oh, there it is, hit that subscribe button right there. I'm looking at it, but I'm looking at myself on the screen, so it's backwards, so I look at myself in the mirror. But there you go. Hit that subscribe button, and then if you would like, you can hit the thumbs up button too. Let us know you were here. Don't forget, you can chat down in the chat session if you'd like to do so. Share my videos with all your friends. Anywhere you can share YouTube videos, you can share my videos here at TurnLeftTV. If you'd like to make a donation, please go up to that link there in the banner of the channel, and you can make a donation straight through PayPal. All right, we're getting a 1 to go. Richard Brooks will be on that bottom line, looks like. So Ed Palumbo will be up on that high line. Dan Chu will start in the 3rd position down on the bottom line, and Colin Madiak will start in the 4th position. So those guys, I'm telling you, that Colin Madiak was in it. He and a crew there had fallen off the draft, and now he got the caution flag, and now he's back up front. So that's what I was saying, is those guys really wanted to see a caution flag come out. So now we got to think about, hey, let's get another really, really good green flag run in here, and we're all bunched up again. Things can get a little dicey here. Let's just take care of one another, and we will be okay. So the lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go back green this time by. Joe Haynes says he's behaving. He's being nice to one another. Being good and safe and nice, except when he's on the track. All right, here we go. Back to green as the pace car is going to dive onto pit lane this time by. Richard Brooks is the race leader in that 69 car. 54 Ed Palumbo on the outside lines. 14 Dan Chu in 3rd. Back to green. Here we go. 54 gets a good start and not quite able to clear that 69 car. Oh, man, he does clear him. Holy Toledo, he does make that pass. That was a pretty big move there as the 69 car did not quite get going here. Now back to the 3rd position. Take a look at that side by side. Dan Chu, the 13 of Colin Madiak up high there. And that high line is not going to go anywhere right now, it doesn't look like. Colin Madiak up on that outside line. These guys are going to try to squeeze in. On board here with Colin Madiak. On the outside line, he is shown in the 5th position right now. Lauren Stopworth in that 41 up high, just behind him. Yeah, we got a hornet's nest right there as Lauren Stopworth in that Hunt Brothers Pizza Machine. Ford Mustang trying to push that outside line. A little bit of rolling going on right there, but man, that may end up being a dead end in the when it all works out. 78 of Todd Robillard also trying to get this line rolling. 13 dives down. He bails out on him. He goes down to the bottom line here. So now you just got two guys there on the high line. They are looking for a hole to get down in onto the bottom line here. Nose to tail. This can get a little dicey. He's at 41. And the 13 close together there. That 13 almost looked like he was going to get up a lane. Colin Madiak running in the fourth position. Owen Stopworth up on that high line. He wants to try to tuck in as quickly as he can. He's going to get some room there from the 77, I think. Going to give these guys some room and let them tuck in. So Paul Brown does these guys a solid and lets those guys tuck in instead of falling all the way to the back. How about Preston Hassel here in the 27 car? One of those old guard HORL guys coming back out racing, huh? That is awesome. We've got a crew here, 3 cars off the pacer just a little bit. That is Rajis Brights, Jair Oliveira, Givaldo Spindola. These guys need to get going here to try to catch that pack. Bringing up the tail end of that lead pack is the 22 of Paolo Chachalowski. Running in the 12th position. 54 Ed Palumbo where he wants to be in the lead. Richard Brooks shown in second. Dan Chu is third. Dan Chu third. Colin Madiak in the fourth position. Sean Jacobs in that 9 car shown in fourth. And I'll tell you what, man, those guys, they don't want to lose that draft. Maybe he's dropping back there to see if he can't get a run here and make this outside line work. So he's got a pretty good run here catching up to the 13 car. Take a look at Tim Lansbury here, just kind of being quiet right now. Remember, he started up front here tonight. That's a Lilly-sponsored machine, number 16. Just ahead of him, Preston Hassel. That Ryzen AMD-sponsored number 27 car. Said this is what I want on the car. I just painted that car for him. It's sort of work in progress there. I had to rush through. I got some stuff done last night for him, get this car ready to go. But I think we're going to add a few little things to it. But I think it's looking pretty good. He said he wanted a black and white car. Just do a little orange in there. So the 54 of Ed Palumbo is the race leader. Richard Brooks shown in second. Dan Chu in the third position. Colin Madiak is fourth. Sean Jacobs shown in the fifth position. About Rajis Brights, man, I talked to him earlier today. Hadn't talked to him in so long, and he said, hey, when's the race? Gave him the information, and here he is. Good to see Rajis out. Lauren, indicating maybe that Lauren Stopworth might have had a warping issue there. Take a look at Richard Brooks here. How about this, man? Richard Brooks races just about anything and everything, man. You can throw him on any track, any car, and he's going to be successful. So running in the second position here in this stock cars tonight. So good to see him out, and congratulations on a good start here. Good run so far. 14, Dan Chu behind him in the third position. Colin Madiak, Ohio native, 13 car, running in P4. Now last week he was running the TurnLeftTV machine, but wait a minute, what happened? Where's it at? Where'd my sponsorship go? Oh, there it is, there it is. Okay, man, I was the main sponsor last week, but looks like I'm down on the, down below the door this week. I guess I'll take what I can get. Take what I can get. Sean Jacobs here in that 9 car, leading up that second pack. And I'll tell you, man, if it were me, I would be a little bit closer to that front 4, just because I would want to make sure that I'm not going to lose the draft. Stopworth had a big hiccup in his connection, but does look okay now here in that 41 car. Didn't get anybody, just got down to a little bit below the yellow line, and looks like no harm, no foul for the 41 car, running in the 6th position. Todd Robillard in that 78 here, running in 7th. Brown with 77 here, running in the 8th position, down to the front of his machine. Preston Hassel just behind him in 9th, nose to tail here. And I think if you get enough guys up on the outside line, I mean, you're really going to have quite a few guys up on the outside line. And I think that will work in the short term. I don't think you're looking at a long-term deal up on the outside line. Take a look at Jair Oliveira. He's giving Rajis Brights a little bit of a push, trying to get him going, as it's 60 of Givaldo Spindola also running back there as well. JJ running in the 14th position is Givaldo Spindola in the 60 car, running in 15th. Rajis Brights running in the 13th position. Palumbo here having a good run out front where he wants to be. He and Richard Brooks there just about a 10th apart. Doesn't look like our extended battle is working too well there. Let's see if we can't go on another driver here. We'll try our 3rd place driver here and see if that extended battle thing's working. Nope. So don't think extended battle's working. So 33 laps in, almost to halfway. Ed Palumbo continuing to lead the field as Richard Brooks shown in 2nd. Dan Chu has that car in the 3rd position. 13, Colin Madiak in 4th. Sean Jacobs rounding out the top 5. Devin Taylor says Freight Train 100. That's right, it is a freight train right now. 9 of Sean Jacobs leading the 2nd car in that train, so to speak. 2nd segment of that train, running in the 5th position. Again, for me, that's a little bit of a worrisome situation. I would not be there. I would be a little bit more close to the 4th place car, just in case, there's some hiccup there. It's possible that you could lose the draft pretty easily. The 9 car there is starting to make a little bit of a move. Oh, man, he really closed in on the 13 car. Maybe he was listening to me on the radio. 41, Lawrence Stopworth just behind him. So things starting to tighten up here a little bit with those guys, maybe. Hey, you interested in some comics? Check out ziacomics.com, your nerd headquarters. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. ziacomics.com, your nerd headquarters. Halfway through, Ed Palumbo, the race leader. Richard Brooks, second. Dan Chu, third. Colin Madiak, fourth. Sean Jacobs, fifth. You see Lauren Stopwood, Todd Rubler, Paul Brown, Preston Hassel, Tim Lansbury rounding out the top 10. William Dunbar, Paulo Chachalowski, Rajis Bright, Jair Oliveira, Givaldo Spindola, 11 through 15. Halfway through. Brooks here having a good night running in that second position. Good to see him out. Take a look at Paul Brown here running in the 77 car. He is in 8th. I want to say thanks so much to Paul for helping us out with some setups there and get going too as far as setting up servers and files and so forth. Greatly appreciate his help, and good to see him out here tonight. Right now running in the 8th position. Ian Chu up on that outside line. I don't know what happened there, whether he's giving that a shot, trying to get around the 13 car. Actually, it looks like he's going to end up losing that position as the 13 Colin Madiak gets by. We're going to take a look at this. Dan Chu, I'm not sure what the deal was. He got out of line, and the 13 snuck through there. As Colin Madiak now picking up that spot as the 14. Dan Chu tucks in back to the 4th position. Colin Madiak there picking up the 3rd spot. Yeah, 69 car got a little bit of help from Colin Madiak here on the outside line. These guys going to give this a run here on the outside. So good battle here as Richard Brooks goes to the outside. And trying to give this a run. So late in this race, these guys, past halfway, just past halfway, these guys are going to give it a shot here. 14, Dan Chu, the 9 of Sean Jacobs, following them through. And these guys now are going to go to the back here if they don't tuck in. And things going to get a little tight there as Colin Madiak up on the outside line, 69. Also in this mix, 27 and the 13 get together. Oh man, that was almost a wreck right there. Almost a wreck. My heavens, man. 27 and the 13 almost got together. Take a look at that again. It's a 27 car down on the inside, and he gets down below that yellow line, and he comes back up the track, smacks the 13 car a little bit, and then, oh man, Tim Lansbury, Johnny on the spot right there. These guys are going to try to get up on that outside line, and I'll tell you what, Richard Brooks here, he's giving him a shot. You got Colin Madiak helping him out there a little bit, but those guys are going to need some more help if they're going to make that outside line work. And Will Dunbar in the inside, and we got a yellow flag here. We got a yellow flag. I saw those guys spinning back there, and Paulo Givaldo back in the back. Givaldo here in the grass. So we have our second caution flag. We'll see what happened here. I think Givaldo Spindola might have Spindola'd around. 60 car Givaldo Spindola here now getting caught back up. So, man, things got interesting right there. These guys were really starting to panic as they were up on the outside line. They start seeing that they're going to lose some spots. They were trying to tuck in. Stuff got a little bit tight. And guys got together, but that is not what triggered the caution flag. caution flag, I think, was triggered. Oh, the 60 car came down, gets into the 88. Oh, let's take a look at this again. That is after the fact. So right here, this is the 88 and the 60. And the 88 might have, oh, I don't know, man. Those guys just arguing over the same real estate there. 60 and the 88 get together. And then all heck breaks loose with those two guys. Givaldo smacking the wall. So I'm not sure what happened with that, but we'll take a look at this a little bit earlier. This is Givaldo Scandola on board here with him, and so Givaldo's up on the south side line, the 88. Man, I think it just got real tight. 22 gets hung up in that as well. We're on board here again. We'll back this up, but this guy's very, very tight right there. And maybe that 88 car and the 60 car get together. And I'll tell you what, man, the 22 almost had that cleared, and then he ends up getting hit. Givaldo's on for a ride, too. He gets into the wall as the 22 hanging on there. '54, Ed Palumbo is our race leader. The 14, Dan Chu is second. Sean Jacobs third. Lauren Stopworth fourth. Todd Robillard is fifth. '54, Ed Palumbo is the race leader. So that got a little interesting there with guys arguing over the same real estate. I just think it was just a racing deal. That was a tough one. Both of them looked like they were headed toward one another about the same time. '54, Ed Palumbo is the race leader. Dan Chu second. Sean Jacobs third. Lauren Stopworth in the fourth position. Colin Madiak is on pit lane. I think Paulo Chachalowski also on pit lane. Take a look at Colin Madiak doing his pit stop here, making his pit stop. Also Paulo Chachalowski in the 22 car. Take a look at Sean Jacobs here having a good night, huh? Running in the third position. Lauren Stopworth is fourth. Todd Robillard shown in the fifth position. '22, Paulo Chachalowski coming back out on track. Not too much damage, I think, for him. I think Givaldo might have a little bit more damage in that 60 car because he made some pretty significant contact. Pretty significant damage here from that contact with the wall. He's, Ed Palumbo is our race leader. So 2 caution flags here on lap 44 now. Coming up on Tuesday, we'll be back in action with Sim Racing Mania at Pocono Raceway, the tricky triangle in the IndyCars. Sim Racing Mania's IndyCar GT Series. 80 laps from Pocono. Starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That is 9 p.m. across the pond there in Great Britain. Very excited about this. I think these guys, talking to them a little bit, they were worried about this track. They're doing 4 ovals and 4 road courses in that series. And that one is one of the quote-unquote ovals. It's a tricky triangle, not really an oval, but that was the one that really, really worried them, even more than the road courses. Side-by-side action here. Again, thanks so much for coming in. Hey, there you go. Discord addresses there if you want to message me on Discord. Also, you can go to the High Octane Racing League Discord address by going right there, that yellow one. You can also, if you'd like to, go down into the description of this race and follow that to the Fanatec website. Give those guys a look. If you're interested in purchasing something racing related for sim racing, give those guys a look, and please follow that link if you decide to do so. We'd greatly appreciate that. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at TurnLeftTV, at TurnLeftTV1 on Facebook. All right, the 54 is elected to go to the bottom line here. The 14 of Dan Chu up on the outside line. The 9 car of Sean Jacobs is going to start in 3rd position down on the bottom line, and then you'll see Lauren Stopworth in the 41. Looks like that connection issue going to be okay for him. Hopefully, we'll keep our fingers crossed. The 41 car up on the outside line in the 4th position. The 78, Todd Robillard, is going to start in 5th. P6 will be Richard Brooks. Justin Hassel there starting at the longest line there. I'm not sure what the penalty was. They were trying to figure that out, but nonetheless he got a penalty, maybe a speeding down pit lane. Not sure. Could be driving too slow as well. But nonetheless, he had to go to the end of the longest line on this restart, 27 car.
Green flag, go, go,
All right, here we go, back to green. 14 car gets a good jump there on that start. So 14 car going to tuck in on the high side and take the race lead. So Dan Chu in the 14 to the race lead. Got some shenanigans here in the back. 22 in the 88. This is Will Dunbar and Paulo Chachalowski. 7, Preston Hassel in this mix as well. Things getting a little dicey here on these restarts. Will Dunbar on the outside line. They're 3 wide, I think. Will Dunbar's in a situation where I think he might have been 3 wide there. 18 car. Oh, 18 and the 88 get together. The 88's in the wall. So the 88 smacked the wall. I'm not sure what he and like the 18 might have gotten together. See the 88, he's up in the wall. He got run up there a little bit high by the 18, but no contact until he got way up into the marbles and smacked the wall. The 88 did, so there's Preston Hassel's view. So see the 88, he's up in the wall. Oh man, he just got contact with that 18 car. Up right there for him. That restart 21 and the 13 here getting a little racy. A little bit racy here as we're definitely on the back half of this race, and these guys are trying to make some stuff happen on the outside line. Will Dunbar has retired his machine. What a shame that is. Send a shout out to Will and how much work he's put in and getting us race ready, man. He is just a master at that stuff. Looking out of the back of the 14 car at that 54. Richard Brooks here in the 69 car. He's up on that outside line. He is running in the 8th position. Colin Madiak just below him. Richard Brooks got a little bit of a run going here, so trying to use that outside line. He just got 16 of Tim Lansbury all over the back of him right now. Look at that. That's a whole lot of Ford Mustang right there. Paul Brown in this mix. He's down on that bottom side there. Tim Lansbury just above him in the 16 car. Richard Brooks, I think, might have made some contact with the wall. Richard Brooks, I think, made contact as he's dropping back. 69 car, he made some contact and lost some positions. Take a look at Richard Brooks. You see him smacking the wall. He was trying to hang on to that thing. So that 69 car, he had smacked the wall. It was almost 3 wide there for him. Sean Jacobs here running in the 3rd position behind that 54 car. Todd Robillard just behind him in that 78. Here we are, lap 52, starting to wind it down. 18 laps to go. As Dan Chu is the race leader, Ed Palumbo in 2nd. They're still racing back there side by side. We'll take a look at Lauren Stopworth, that 41 up on the outside line in 13, and Colin Madiak now in 9th. Lauren Stopworth running that outside line. He is shown in the 8th position. Colin Madiak going back to the high side. Is he going to be able to make that work? That's the question. So Lauren Stopworth in this Hunt Brothers Pizza number 41 having a good night here. And Richard Brooks, you see him tucking out to the outside. 18, Raji Sprites in the 11th position. 21, Jair Oliveira starting to make some moves on the outside line. We are looking out of the back of our 8th place car, Lauren Stoppenworth. Colin Madiak here has a run. Is he going to try to make something happen here on the 41 car? 41 goes to the outside line. Preston Hassel there in the middle. They've got some guys here starting to work that outside line, so be careful. The outside line is starting to move up the grid here a little bit. 27, Preston Hassel back there as well, down on the bottom line in that AMD sponsored Ford. Sees those guys getting antsy on that outside line here. I'll tell you what, I think if you get enough guys on the outside line, it will work. It'll definitely can make some. You can make some moves. You see Paul Brown bail out and go up to the high side. So Paul Brown's going to make this a little party on the outside line. Now you got 5 cars up there. These guys are going to start working that high line, and I tell you what, I think it's going to pan out for these guys. These guys are starting to make a run on the front too. Paul Brown in the 77, 41, Lauren Stopworth pushing him, 13, Colin Madiak up there, Richard Brooks up there as well. Jair Oliveira up on the high side, so this high side starting to work. Out of the front of Paul Brown's machine. Just got to be patient here as those guys are getting a little bit of a run down on the bottom side. Preston Hassel moving up to the outside line as well. Oh, man, we got a yellow flag here. I had a feeling something's going to happen. Colin Madiak spinning through the grass. A yellow flag. 3rd yellow flag. So the 13, Colin Madiak involved. Dan Chu, the race leader, will catch up to that pace car. We'll see what happened here, man. I just had a feeling things were getting a little bit more intense, weren't they? The 18, that's 3 wide right there. 3 wide, 18, the 13. That 18 car, man, I'll tell you what, that 18 car, I think he got into the 13. Not real sure here. We'll take a look at this again on board here with the 18. I think he might have gotten into that 13 car. And all heck breaks loose. Overheating right there too, but the 13 and the 18 get together here. We'll take a look. The 18 down on the bottom line. That 18, he just gets off the bottom line a little bit, drifts up the track, and again gets into the 13 car. Lauren Stoppenworth is in this too. He got caught up in that. Out of the front here, this is after the fact here. It looked like, oh, the 69 car got in that as well. This may be an extracurricular deal. 41. We'll take a look at that again here. It's a very tough call, but they were 3 wide for a little bit. I think that 18 just may not have realized that 13 was up on the high side. They were definitely 3 wide. right, Dan Chu in the 14, the race leader.
Will be open this time, clean left car.
14, Dan Chu, the race leader. 54, Ed Palumbo is second. Sean Jacobs is shown in the third position, the 78. Todd Robillard is fourth. Preston Hassel shown in the fifth position. Tim Lansbury in a 16, shown in the sixth position. Jair Oliveira in the 21, shown in 7th. Raji Sprites in the 18, shown in the 8th position. Richard Brooks in a 69 car, shown in 9th. Rounding out the top 10 is the 22 of Paulo Chachalowski. This guy is doing some great work in converting tracks over to rFactor 2, so very, very impressed with what he's done. Very, very impressed in the work that Apollo has been doing. Hey, coming up on Monday, June the 22nd, DTM Series with IndyCar Brazil, NASCAR Total, the DTM 2020 45-minute race from Hockenheim. Be live right here on TurnLeftTV at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Road will be open this time.
'58 58 laps in, across the start finish line, 59. Thank you for coming into the YouTube channel. Please hit that subscribe button, and then there's actually a little bell back there behind the subscribe, back there behind me, right there. It's a little different color on your screen, but smash the bell, as they would say, as you'll get updates of when races are going live, when I have things uploaded on YouTube. Also, if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV, you can click on the link up in the description, or up in the banner of the channel, and make a donation. Peace to everybody. Hopefully everybody's being cool with one another and behaving and taking some time out and enjoying some sim racing here tonight. And thank you for coming in and joining TurnLeftTV. Greatly appreciate it. Share my videos with all your friends. Now, I wonder what's going to happen to this outside line. Are these guys going to get this bad boy going or what here? But some of these guys have come down pit lane here and now are going to start a little bit further back in the pack here. Paul Brown in his 77 car going to start in the 13th position. Rogers Bright's going to start in the 13th position in that 18 car. Well, Brown is going to start in 14th, so he must have got a longest line penalty.
It'll be one to go this time, bud.
Ed Palumbo going to start on the outside line in the second position. So I'll tell you what, man, we get going back. Agree, we got 10 laps to go. 14, Dan Chu up front. 54, Ed Palumbo on the outside line in the second position. Sean Jacobs in third. Todd Robillard in the fourth position, that 78 car. So I think things are going to pick up here. Business is going to get a little crazy here. Business is going to pick up here at the end. These guys are going to start using that outside line to see if they can't make some passes here. Preston Hassel's got his car in the fifth position as Tim Lansbury in sixth in the 16 car. Lights are out on the pace car. Pace car is going in, and we're going to get back to green flag racing. Winding this down. Here we go. 14 of Dan Chu will control the start here.
Green flag, go, go,
Back
go.
to green. Ooh, a little bit of a shot there from the 78 into the back of the 54 car. Sean Jacobs. Oh, he gets a little contact there. Little contact. Not sure what happened there. Man, I just jumped into his car and he was going all over the place. I think he got some contact there. Tim Lansbury. Waldo Spindola falling back there. Tim Lansbury, I'm not sure what happened with Tim, but he said he got bumped. Tim Lansbury now using that outside line. Has a run on the outside, and I'll tell you what, Ed Palumbo on the outside line. He's going to make that pass. The 78, Todd Robillard follows him through. These guys are getting racy in the back here. 3 wide again, the 21. Jair Oliveira, the 69. Richard Brooks, 13. Colin Maniac. These guys are out for blood now. The sharks smell blood in the water. So looking out of the back of Colin Maniac's machine, he's running in the 8th position. Paulo Chachalowski, Richard Brooks side by side. Oh, there's a yellow flag. The 21 and the 16 got together. 21 and the 16, I think, got together. Man, that got crazy. I knew things were going to pick up. We'll have to take a look and see what happened on that one. So 16 keeping it going in the right direction, but we definitely had some guys, Jair Oliveira in that 21 car involved. '54 Ed Palumbo in second. Excuse me, in the race leader. And we'll see what happened here. Jair Oliveira came around. See the 16, the 27. 27 gets up there a little bit into the 16. That was tight. The 21 there slips in, and then the 16 and the 21 side by side, and that 21 gets down onto the apron a little bit, and the 16 comes over and gets into the 21 car, and those guys come around. On board here with the 21 car. There was contact right there with the 27 and the 16, and then down onto the apron, and then contact with the 21 and the 16. Go on board here with Tim Lansbury. He's going to take a little bit of a bump right here. Little bump right there, and he's up on the outside line. He's trying to maybe tuck in. Maybe doesn't realize that 21 car's there, and there was contact. The 21 came up as well, but that was some tight racing. See that bump right there. Now there's a 16. Preston Hassel contact with the 16 car. And then Tim Lansbury. See the 21 tuck in right there. Tim Lansbury on the outside line. And they're down on the 21 gets down below the yellow line a little bit and then comes back up the track. And as Tim Lansbury is actually moving down, so both those guys sort of moving and get into one another.
Road will be open this time for lead lap cars.
Looks like that might have been a racing deal there between the two of those guys. All right, well, the 54 of Ed Palumbo is the race leader in that Mellow Yellow sponsor machine. '78 Todd Robillard up on the outside line. Dan Chu is in third. Sean Jacobs in the fourth position. Preston Hassel is shown in fifth. lost caution flag, man. I really think there's guys racing for the same real estate there. Just a tough way to go, but don't really think anybody was overtly at fault. Intense racing. Pocono Raceway coming up on Tuesday. Sim Racing Mania IndyCar GT Series. Pocono Raceway, about the sixth race of the season there. These guys getting on definitely on the back half of that season. And very, very exciting deal there. 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. British Time. Pocono Raceway. Sim Racing Mania IndyCar GT. All right, here we go. We got one more lap to go under caution, and we're back to green. Ed Palumbo has elected to go to that bottom side. '78. Todd Robillard up on the outside line. '78, Todd Robillard on the outside line. Dan Chu in the 14 car down on the bottom side. The 9, Sean Jacobs in fourth. Now things are going to get heated here, I tell you, with just a few laps to go. So the 14 in third, Dan Chu in third, 54 and the 14. '27 of Preston Hassel indicating he might have to serve a penalty here. So Preston Hassel in the 27. And he is indicating he might have to come down pit lane, but not sure. We'll see.
Green flag, go, go,
all right, back to green. Ed Palumbo in the 54. 14 there behind him, and giving him a little bit of a shove. The 78, Todd Robillard on the outside line. Cavallo Spindola there, he has got a little bit of an overheating issue, I think, right now. 18, Raji Sprites gets into the 60 car. Raji Sprites and the 60 get together. We were watching that 60 car. He was overheating. Raj's Brights might have spun and then gotten into so the 78. Todd Robillard might be our race leader in here. Take a look here. Just as that caution flag came out, Todd Robillard had actually gotten in front of the 54. So the 78, Todd Robillard, the race leader. These guys take the yellow flag. Take a look here. Looked like maybe Raj's Brights came off track. Take a look. He was off track right there. Now maybe there was something that precipitated that, but man, at 18 and then his 60 gets into him. Take a look here. It's a little bit earlier here. So Paul Brown fills that spot down on the bottom side as Raj's comes over and gets into the 77 car. So the 18 comes back across. He just opened that gap there. The 77 took that and then gets into right there he comes down onto the 77 car. And then he is on for a ride. He comes back up across the track and gets into this 60 car, Ubaldo Spindola. So we take a look here. We're on board here with Ubaldo Spindola, and he's going to see a whole heck of a lot of this 18 car right there. Paul Brown here. This is on board here with Paul Brown. As you see, watch this 18 car. He's going to get out way up the track, and Paul Brown's going to take that spot right there. And then the 18 comes over, squeezes him, and comes across his nose, and then back up the track. And then all heck breaks loose behind him. All right, that's 78. Todd Robillard is the race leader. And Palumbo's second time. Sean Jacobs in the third position. Dan Chu fourth. Colin Madiak is in the fifth position. So I believe we have a green-white checker.
Pit road will be open this time for lead lap cars.
I would imagine maybe some of these guys in the back, maybe they're going to come down pit lane here, not sure. We are a green-white checker situation. Green, white, checker to 78. Tom Robillard, the race leader, and Ed Palumbo going to start on the outside line. In that second position, Sean Jacobs in third. Dan Chu in the fourth position.
Pit road will be open this time.
Want some comics? You can check out ZiaComics.com, your nerd headquarters. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. ZiaComics.com, your source, your headquarters for all things comic related. Side-by-side view here. We'll take a look at the sixth place car, Apollo Chachalowski, 22. Thank you for coming in. We're getting a little bit of chat going on here. What's this? Ed Palumbo chatting from the car? How's that work? Watch out for the 9 car. He's a wrecker. Devin Taylor joining us in the chat as well. Hey, thanks so much for coming in. You can friend me on Discord by sending me a message right there. We're using one of those addresses, and then also, if you would like, you can go to the High Octane Racing League Discord channel. There's the invite right down there. There we go, right down there in that yellow. Please go down into the description of this race and click on that link that says "Help Me Out." That goes to the Fanatec website. If you're looking for some racing equipment, sim racing equipment, give those guys a look. And if you decide to make a purchase, please follow that link. That would help me out here at TurnLeftTV. You can follow me on Facebook, TurnLeftTV1, or Twitter at TurnLeftTV. Robillard start on the inside line, I would suggest to you. Ed Palumbo is second on the outside line, that 54 car. Sean Jacobs is third. Dan Chu in fourth. I think we're going to get the one to go this time by green, white checker here at Daytona. We've had a string of a few cautions here late in the race. Things that's kind of being expected, I think, in some respects, as guys are really going to be all take and no give at this point. Looks like the 78 car has elected to go down to the bottom side. Dan Chu shown in the fourth position. You see Colin Madiak in the 13 car, shown in fifth. Paulo Chachalowski's got his car in the sixth position. Let's take a look at Paulo running in that 22 car. Preston Hassel in the 27 in seventh. Richard Brooks in eighth. All right, boys and girls, green, white checker here at Daytona. '54 Ed Palumbo, kind of wondering what kind of run he's going to get on that outside line. Can he get this thing going? Dan Chu just behind him, going to give him a little bit of a shove, I think. Here we go. 78 down the inside line will control the restart. There, Palumbo, he's going to get on the gas here. I just know it. Green, white checker. Here we go at Daytona. 78, maybe a little bit of side drafting with that 54 car. Nose to tail. First 4 cars all boxed together. Oh, contact right there. The 9 car might have gotten into the back of that 78 car a little bit. Contact between the 9 and the 78. He got up into the 54. The 54 now in the middle. He's in the middle here as a, oh, we got him wrecking behind. Tim Lansbury coming around. He's backwards. Tim Lansbury is backwards here. There's something happened there. The 78 car will take that yellow flag as the 14 car tucks in. Things got tight. Tim Lansbury came around here just a little bit earlier as the 41 and the 27, they were down below the yellow line, and then the 27, oh man, 60 car trying to avoid that. He tries to get through. I don't know what got those guys down on the bottom line there. That's a little crazy here. This is a little bit earlier. This is looking out of Spindola's machine. In the 27 and the 41, Spindola just trying to squeeze through. And I'm not sure what happened to Preston Hassel here. Oh, there was contact right there. Back that up just a little bit. So these guys get bunched up. There's 3 wide, the 78 down on the bottom line. He might have gotten a little contact. That was a little bit earlier. People checking up. The 13 down below the yellow line. The 27 right there as well. He backs off. The 41 gets into the back of him, and then contact with the 41 and the 16. 41 gets off track. 27 going down off track. And then right there, closing in. We'll go on board here. Watch this. Those guys just get a little crazy. Back up the track as the 16 trying to get off the turn, and the 60 car was there. Tim Lansbury retires his machine, it looked like. So our race winner is Todd Robillard in that 78 car. So ending it under caution, and the 78, Todd Robillard, wins this race. The 78 car, Todd Robillard, wins this race here, the first race of the season. Here at Daytona. So Todd Robillard wins that race there. Congratulations to him. Very, very interesting end to that race there. Dan Chu finishes in the second position. So we'll take a look at the the final outcome there. Dan Chu finishes in the second position. Sean Jacobs third. Ed Palumbo finishes in P4. Paulo Chachalowski finishes in P5. Paul Brown sixth. Colin Madiak finishes in the seventh position. Jair Oliveira finishes in eighth. Richard Brooks finishes in the ninth position, and Givaldo Spindola finishes in 10th. Take a look at the second half there. Lawrence Stoppelworth 11th, Preston Hassel 12th, Tim Lansbury 13th, Raji Sprites 14th, Will Dunbar finishes in the 15th position. So we'll see if we can't get Todd Robillard up here in the booth with us and have a little conversation. All right, Todd Robillard joining us up here in the broadcast booth, or I should say on this team speak. It looks like it's down here in the broadcast booth, but hey, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we need to fix that, Heath.
You put it upstairs versus downstairs?
Yep.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, man, most of that race was pretty solid. It got a little bit messy there toward the end, and you just found yourself at the right place at the right time with everything going on behind. Talk a little bit about your feelings with this first race here at in the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series and the win tonight.
I think it went really well tonight. There was a good mix of drivers that, a lot of us haven't raced together before. And, we were all pretty patient for at least the first half of the race. I know we had a couple of cautions throughout the race, and a couple at the end. But for a bunch of guys that really haven't raced much together, I know, a few have here and there in other series and stuff, but not as a group here. I'd say it went pretty well. It was a successful night. I'm not just saying that because I won the race, but I think the racing was pretty good. Not bad for a super speedway.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to add the super speedway aspect in there with the next question, and you beat me to it. But, this one has a tendency sometimes to get out of control as far as caution flags because everybody's sort of bunched up there together on the restarts, but also bunched up pretty much the whole run.
Yeah, these cars are a little bit more down on power than the Cup cars are, so they're a little bit more forgiving on starts and restarts, so that you're not totally pushing on the guy in front of you, or you're not being pushed. But all in all, I'd say this is a really, really good series to race. The mod is excellent. I think there's a lot of potential here. We had a really, really good turnout tonight. That was great. Appreciate all the drivers showing up, and can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, we've got a good schedule headed our way here. We got Homestead or Palm Springs coming up next week. How do you feel about that track? It I think lends itself some pretty darn good racing.
Yeah, it will. Like I said, these cars are a little bit down on power, so we're going to race closer together there than we would in the Cup cars. And there isn't as much off throttle time in these cars at that track, so I'd say the racing's going to be really good. It's not one of my best tracks, so I suspect that I won't be towards the front at least.
Are you lowballing it right now? Is that what you're doing?
Sandbagging, they call it.
Sandbagging.
Yeah.
Well, hey, congratulations. Good to see you out here. Thanks to all the work that you do here at High Octane to get it up and running. And what an amazing job the guys that are in that admin crew have done to get us all up and running here.
Yeah, great job to everybody in such a short period of time. Everybody deserves a pat on the back. I hope the broadcast turned out well tonight. I'm going to go back and watch it, but I suspect it'll be a good one. Thank you,
Yeah.
Heath.
Well, you're welcome, man. There were a few glitches there. On my music, I think I had the playlist on repeat instead of the song on repeat, so it went to the next song. I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on with it, but we finally got it worked out. But Those things happen. But hey, congratulations, and good luck to you next week at the famed track there at Homestead.
Thanks, Heath. Thanks for what you do.
All right, thank you, bud. All right, that's Todd Robillard there joining us up in the broadcast booth. The 78 car, not his normal number here. We'll get him in that 90 car before it's over with. But congratulations to him on a big race win here in the Buschwackers Series at Daytona. Well, coming up on Tuesday, I should probably done these in order, but coming up on Tuesday, we'll be at Pocono Raceway with Sim Racing Mania, the IndyCar GT Series. Should be a great one. 80 laps in these Indy cars at Pocono. It will be a fantastic race. 4 p.m. Eastern Time start time. That's what time the stream will start. Maybe 3:50 or so. That would be 8:50 to 9 o'clock local British time. And then backing it up a day, we got Hockenheim coming up in IndyCar Brazil, NASCAR Total, the DTM Series, race number 1 in their 2020 season. The boys are back. I'm excited for this, man, to get these guys back rolling and get to racing with these guys again. Very, very excited about this 45-minute race coming up from Hockenheim. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight here on TurnLeftTV. Congratulations to Todd Robillard on picking up the first win, first race of the season. And I think he's going to get a lot more. I would suggest to you that that's going to happen. You're going to see a lot more wins headed his way. So thanks for being patient here. We had a few snafus with the broadcast tonight, but that happens, man. There's so many things I got to do. I just forgot to do one thing, and that was, I don't even know how it got toggled. It was get replay on, go through the playlist and then replay the playlist versus replaying a single song. So that's why you kept hearing that song, but I apologize for that. A few bugs there along the way, and I think we actually had a little connection issue there early on too, so we'll get a clean copy uploaded to YouTube. Thanks so much for coming in and joining us here on TurnLeftTV. We'll see you next week in the Buschwackers Series at Palm Springs as Homestead, boys and girls. Until then, I'm out of here.